Saint Conrad of Piacenza. He was born Corrado Confalonieri, a member of one of the noblest families of Piacenza. The date of his birth is uncertain, but someplace around 1290. He married an aristocratic young woman named Ephrasim when he was quite young, and though pious, he led the normal way of life for a man of his station. One day, as he was engaged in his usual pastime of hunting within his family's domain, he ordered his attendants to set fire to some brushwood in which game had taken refuge. The prevailing wind caused the flames to spread rapidly to the surrounding fields and forest. A peasant who happened to be found near where the fire began was accused of starting the blaze and was imprisoned, tortured to confess, and condemned to death. As the man was being led to execution, a remorseful Conrad publicly admitted his guilt to the signoria of the city. As punishment and reparation for the damages he had caused, the city seized all his assets, only sparing his life due to his noble status. Thus reduced to poverty and seeking penance for his act of cowardice, Conrad and his wife saw the hand of God in this event. As a result, in 1315 they agreed to separate, and Conrad retired to a hermitage near the town of Calandasco, joining a community of hermits who were Franciscan tertiaries, while his wife became a nun of the Order of Poor Clares at their monastery in the city. Conrad soon developed a reputation for holiness, and the flow of visitors left him unable to keep the solitude he sought. He then embarked on the life of a pilgrim, going to Rome and from there to the Holy Land and Malta, and about 1340 to Palermo in Sicily, where he was directed to an isolated site in the Val di Noto. After many years of an itinerant life, he settled there in a grotto now named for him, and therefore the rest of his life spent a most austere and penitential life of solitude, working numerous miracles, and gifted with prophecy. In 1343, Conrad felt called by God to serve the local people more directly, and in that year went to the city of Nettuno, where he cared for the sick at the hospital of St. Martin, there for the next 2 years. He lived in a hermitage attached to the Church of the Crucified Christ, occupied by the Blessed William Buccheri, a former equerry to King Frederick III of Sicily, who had also taken up a life of solitude and prayer. Conrad would regularly return to his grotto for silent prayer. His fame was such that in 1348 the Bishop of Syracuse, Giacomo Guidone de Franchis, went to his hermitage to beg his prayers for the relief of a famine afflicting the island. Conrad died while in prayer, kneeling before a crucifix on February 19 of 1351, the day he had predicted. At his request, his body was buried in the Church of St. Nicholas, the principal one of the city. After the city was leveled in an earthquake in the 1690s, it was transferred to the new church of the same name, built in the relocated city, now called Noto, which now serves as the cathedral of the region.